Right now, we're witnessing a pretty intense battle between two major sports channels. Both are going head-to-head this month, and one of them has pulled ahead by almost 7,000 in terms of engagement. The competition is heating up, and fans are locked in, watching every move. But while the spotlight was originally on the workout of a former Kansas Jayhawks player, everything shifted just minutes before a live stream kicked off. That's because officially, this player signed with a new team on Wednesday. And yes, that changed the entire vibe of the conversation. Standing 6'4" and weighing in at 320 pounds, this guy isn't new to the league. He's played snaps in the NFL, though he missed all of the 2024 season due to a knee injury. Back in his last active season with real playing time, he managed 4 sacks, 1 hit, and 18 pressures. Not exactly jaw-dropping, but not invisible either. However, his pass blocking grade sat at a disappointing 58.9, and he committed 3 penalties across 418 snaps. That's not ideal, and honestly, I'm not totally convinced. He's got the skill set to stick. His contract, whatever the details may be, will probably reflect that. We haven't seen the full breakdown yet, but I'd expect a 1-year deal minimum salary with little to no guaranteed money, very similar to another player who signed under the radar not long ago. That kind of low-risk deal makes sense. Here, he was drafted in the 6th round out of Kansas and bounced around the league since then. He spent time with a couple different franchises, one in 2023 and another last season before the injury shut him down. The interesting part, he's seen time all over the offensive line. He's played both guard and tackle, though almost all of his experience is on the right side. No real time at left guard or center, so we're talking a player whose comfort zone is clearly right guard and right tackle. In 2022, he logged 777 snaps at right tackle alone. That's a significant workload, especially for someone trying to carve out a role in a crowded offensive line group. And just to spice it up a little, he's even lined up as a 6th offensive lineman, functioning almost like a tight end in certain formations. So yes, there's some versatility there, and you can see the value in bringing in someone with that kind of experience. But the big question is, can he really stick? With 15 offensive linemen currently on the roster, the battle for depth, especially a right guard, is about to get nasty. This new guy is going to be in direct competition with a handful of others, and some of them are already favored. Honestly, if they're bringing in this many offensive linemen before the draft, it tells you one thing. They're trying to cover all bases before the rookies arrive. Now, here's where it gets tricky. The team doesn't have a ton of roster space left. We're talking 4, maybe 5 open spots, and they've got 10 draft picks coming in. That math ain't pretty. So for fringe players, it's now or never. They gotta prove their worth fast because after the draft, cuts are coming. No doubt about that. And it looks like the staff wants to foster a real competition, especially to protect the quarterback, even when the backups are in. That's where depth on the O-line becomes non-negotiable. This specific player brings flexibility, but there's uncertainty too. He played almost half of his career snaps at tackle and the other half at right guard. That kind of balance might give him a slight edge in versatility, but it also means he hasn't locked down a true home on the line. That's a red flag for some coaches. So maybe the best move is to treat him as a swing option, someone who can shift around depending on injuries or formations. Still, with this many linemen fighting for limited slots, he's gotta stand out fast. There's also some chatter about what the team wants on the defensive side, specifically a nose guard, someone who can eat up blocks and hold the line on early downs. Some believe this new addition could shift inside and take on that responsibility, but let's be honest, while he showed flashes last year, especially in the run game, there's still a long way to go. Expectations were low early on, and even though he's improved, the leap hasn't been big enough yet. And in year 3, if you're not making that leap, it's fair to ask if it's ever gonna happen. Confidence in him. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd say maybe a 4 or 5. I'm not giving up entirely, but I'm definitely cautious. He's shown more upside recently, but we've got to see more consistency. If this team is serious about competing, they need another nose guard. Someone legit, not a training camp body. Not a maybe in August, a real contributor. Otherwise, they're risking a big hole in the middle of the defense. There are guys out there. Some promising rookies could be available in the 2nd or 3rd day of the draft. Prospects who can really help stop the run. Even players projected to go in the 4th or 5th round could come in and make an immediate impact. Names like Deion Walker, CJ West, Jordan Phillips, Samarai Cowell. These are guys that could shore up that D-line in a big way. You also have talents like Vernon Broughton, Cam Horsley, Cam Jackson, Julia, all from Florida, all with upside. If one of those guys drops to day 3, the team needs to be ready to pounce. Right now, the spotlight isn't just on what's happening on the field. There's also an off-field showdown going on between two of the biggest sports channels. This month, they're locked in a head-to-head race for dominance, and one of them has taken the lead with a margin of almost 7,000, a number that's been creating quite a buzz. But while the numbers game continues between the channels, something totally unexpected shifted the conversation just minutes before a recent live stream. All eyes had been on a workout session featuring a former Kansas Jayhawks player, someone who had drawn a bit of attention in recent weeks. But that narrative took a turn the moment it was announced that the athlete had officially been signed by a new team, standing 6'4" and weighing a massive 320 pounds. This isn't some rookie out of nowhere. He's got real NFL experience, though he hasn't exactly had a smooth journey. He missed the entire 2024 season with a knee injury, a setback that seriously stalled his career momentum. But if we rewind to his last meaningful stretch of playing time, there's something to work with. He tallied 4 sacks, 1 quarterback hit, and 18 pressures. It wasn't a breakout performance, but it showed flashes, glimpses of a player who could be more than just depth. Still, the negatives can't be ignored. His pass blocking grade came in at a rough 58.9, and in just over 400 snaps, he committed 3 penalties. Those numbers don't scream starter. And honestly, it's hard to be confident that he'll turn things around quickly. That uncertainty is exactly why we're expecting his contract to be structured conservatively. Nothing's been officially released yet, but all signs point to a 1-year deal, veteran minimum, and probably no guaranteed money. That's the kind of contract you give to a player who still has something to prove. And if he doesn't pan out in camp, the team can walk away, no strings attached. We've seen similar contracts handed out in recent months, and this one fits the same mold, low risk, moderate upside. It's a classic prove-it deal, and that's likely what he's got in front of him. He was originally selected in the 6th round out of Kansas, and since entering the league, he's bounced from one team to another. In 2023, he was with one franchise, then joined another last year before suffering the knee injury that sidelined him for the season. What makes his case interesting is the range of positions he's played across the offensive line. He's been both a guard and a tackle, but most of his snaps came as a right guard or right tackle. He's had little to no time at left guard or center, so while the coaches might appreciate his versatility, it's not like he can be plugged in just anywhere. His comfort zone is definitely on the right side, and that's where his experience lies. In 2022 alone, he played 777 snaps at right tackle. That's not a small sample. That kind of workload says the coaches saw something they liked, even if the performance wasn't always consistent. What really stands out is that he was even used as a 6th offensive lineman in certain packages, almost like a tight end. That role, being an eligible blocker on the edge, shows that the coaching staff trusted him enough to throw him into unique alignments. He wasn't just a guy warming the bench. He had roles, responsibilities, and a purpose. Still, we can't pretend the situation is simple. The team he's joining now has 15 offensive linemen on the roster. 15. That's a crowded room, and it means the competition for roster spots is about to get brutal. Specifically, the battle for right guard is going to be intense. Several guys are already penciled in, and this new addition is going to have to fight hard just to get noticed. The math doesn't help him either. There are only about 4 or 5 open spots left on the roster, and with 10 draft picks coming in, there's just not much space. After the draft, cuts will happen. Fringe players like him will be at the top of that list unless they show something quickly. And honestly, this move feels like the team is trying to stock up on linemen to protect the quarterback, especially when the backups take the field. When you're down to your 2nd or 3rd string QB, the last thing you want is a leaky offensive line. So adding experienced linemen, even ones with question marks, makes some sense. As for how they see this player fitting in, it's kind of a mixed bag. He's played almost exactly half of his total snaps at right tackle, and the other half at right guard. That balance gives the coaching staff options, but it also means he hasn't locked down one specific role. Maybe they view him as a swing lineman, someone who can shift between roles based on need. That sounds good in theory, but with 15 linemen in camp, he's going to have to outshine guys who already have defined roles. If he doesn't, his time could be short. On the defensive side, there's a separate conversation happening. Some believe the team needs another true nose guard, a powerful run stuffer who can hold the line against inside zone and power runs. Some fans have floated the idea that this new offensive lineman might actually be able to flip sides and fill that gap, but that's not likely. While he's shown some growth as a pass protector, he's not equipped to be a defensive force. Last year, we saw some improvement, especially against the run, but not enough to make a case for two-way usage. He's in his third season now, and the reality is that this could be make or break. If he doesn't take a leap soon, we have to start asking if it'll ever happen. Confidence in him? I'd say it's shaky, maybe a 4 out of 10. There's some optimism, sure, but it's cautious. He's shown more flashes recently than in his rookie year, and that's worth something, but he still hasn't proven he can be relied on week to week. If the team wants to be serious about plugging gaps on the D-line, they need to bring in another real nose tackle. Not a late camp signing, not a cheap veteran looking for a final paycheck. They need a guy who can take meaningful snaps and potentially be better than what they've already got. Anything less, and it's a wasted opportunity. There are still some intriguing options in the draft. A few prospects projected to go in rounds 2 or 3 could step in immediately and help shore up the run defense. Even guys slated for day 3, maybe in the 4th or 5th round, could end up making a difference. Names like Deion Walker, CJ West, Jordan Phillips, and Samari Cowell come to mind. Those are players who have real upside, and getting one of them in the mid-rounds would be a smart move. And don't overlook others like Vernon Broughton, Cam Horsley, Cam Jackson, or Julia, all promising defensive tackles with the tools to grow into solid contributors. If any of them fall to the 5th round, that could be a steal. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In a stunning twist that's sure to shake the NFL landscape, San Francisco 49ers star tight end George Kittle has reportedly agreed to join the Dallas Cowboys. The news broke earlier today through sources close to the negotiations, leaving fans of both franchises in shock and triggering a wave of speculation about the impact of this move. Kittle, long regarded as one of the most dominant tight ends in the league, has been the heart and soul of the 49ers offense for years. Known for his relentless energy, elite blocking, and clutch receiving, the 30-year-old has been instrumental in San Francisco's playoff runs and deep postseason success. For the Cowboys, a franchise that has been on the cusp of greatness in recent seasons but unable to push through to the Super Bowl, acquiring a player of Kittle's caliber might be the final piece of the puzzle. While official contract details have not yet been released, insiders suggest the agreement is a multi-year deal that places Kittle among the highest paid tight ends in the NFL. The move also reunites him with Cowboys defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer, who has always admired Kittle's work ethic and intensity. On the field, this signing is not just a statement of intent from Dallas, it's a signal that they're all in for a championship push. With Dak Prescott under center, CeeDee Lamb emerging as one of the top wide receivers in the game, and now George Kittle added to the mix, the Cowboys' offense looks poised to challenge any defense in the league. Kittle's versatility and leadership could be exactly what Dallas needs to get over the playoff hump. For 49ers fans, it's the end of an era. While there's no doubt disappointment in losing such a beloved figure, the franchise now faces the challenge of retooling its offense without its emotional leader. As for Kittle, his move to Dallas marks a new chapter in an already legendary career, one that could now include the elusive Super Bowl ring he's been chasing. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.